Hello, hello. This is Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach, and you are watching an episode of the Rebound Coach Live. And I'm so excited that you are here today, or if you are live with me on Facebook, if you are listening over on Clubhouse, or if you are watching the replay on either one of those social media platforms. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. I'm in a different place than normal. Normally, you can catch me in a different room in my home. Today, I am in my sanctuary, and there's a reason for that because I am sharing with you the recap of the Sanctuary Experience Fall 2022 Women's Retreat that we just completed. And it was amazing. And I wish that my partner, Malikia K. Courtney, was here with me, Coach MK. She is not available to come join me tonight, but I guarantee you we will have a session where we share together about what just happened, because it was absolutely amazing. And so for everyone who's heard about it, and after these events, they come and they ask, well, how did it go? How was Sanctuary? Okay, so I'm telling y'all all at once. And I'm going to say, here, hit the replay. Oh, because it was amazing. But if someone passed you this, or this is just scrolling by on your feed and you're not sure who this is or what it's about, my name is Dallas Cohen. I'm the Rebound Coach, and I have the honor and privilege of serving high-achieving women of faith who have lived through betrayal, trauma, or abuse and want to reclaim territory in their relationship with themselves. You know, maybe they're learning how to love themselves for the first time, and walking into some new, amazing territory. And the whole reason we get to spend time together today is because I was married for 10 years to someone who wanted me dead. And that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But it was absolutely my life. And that didn't make sense for someone like me. I was raised with two Christian parents. They loved God. They loved each other. We're married for a lifetime. And and they were a great example of marriage. They were a great example of a caretaker, and someone who, my dad was my mother's caretaker. She was terminally ill, and they had a very loving relationship. At the same time, I was molested from age 8 to age 16. So that really affects how you see God in a household of faith. For me, how I saw myself as a young person growing up, and how I related to men, or how I understood I was supposed to relate to men. Fast forward, when I married the person I married, there were definitely red flags. It was not, I didn't go in blind, right? I understood there would be challenges. I understood it wouldn't be easy. I wasn't expecting easy. What I was expecting, because I am a praying woman, I was then, I am now, and I believe that God was with us. And because of that, I believe God's answer was yes. Because of that, I believe that whatever trouble came, we'd overcome it, we'd outlast it. I had this vision of, us being, super marriage, not counselors, but like teachers, right? So I had this vision in my mind of what I hoped it would become. And y'all, trouble came right away. Some people talk about like they had a honeymoon period and then something happened. No, right away. And never quite left. It became what I call a cycle of coping in crisis, where, we're barely making it. And then there's some big crisis that shakes up the whole family. And then we recover from the crisis and we go back to barely making it until the next crisis. Well, as the years went on, crises became more and more frequent. They became worse. It used to be easier to handle, and now it's, a bigger disruption. And things kind of came to a head end of 2019, beginning of 2020. There was mental illness. There was violence in the home. There was just all sorts of mess. And he eventually left for another woman. And I found out him and that woman had been plotting my murder for months by the time I found out. It was kind of a record scratch moment. You know, if you can imagine watching a movie and you see the B-roll of someone's life and then it goes, like it was one of those moments. And you know, everything is threatened. Everything. You're threatened as a person, as a wife, as a mom, as just a woman, as a child of God, and also as a coach. I had been coaching at that time. I was coaching relationships and marriages. So I had been teaching Bible believing people how to stay married in difficult circumstances for about 5 or 6 years by that point. So if you've ever built an identity around a certain idea or around a certain stance and had that very thing be the thing that has fallen apart on the floor all around you, and it's like a pregnancy, you know, you can't hide it but for so long, right? um that's what I was looking at, and I really had to figure out what my life was going to be about, and in short order, right? Like stuff is happening, you can't like pause, you have to, you know, I had to make some pretty big decisions. I could allow the identity that my ex-husband had planned for me, and to be honest, that I had accepted over time. I had just allowed his ideas to become law in my house and law in my heart, you know, for a lot of it. And I could allow that to continue to tell me what my life was going to be, who I was allowed to be, the way I was allowed to serve God, the words I was allowed to use, the clothes I was allowed to wear, how many days I had left on the planet. I could allow that to tell me all those things, or I could choose life. So by a miraculous, and I mean miraculous, like I'm not kidding you, miraculous set of circumstances, not only have I lived, and we're having this moment today, my children are safe, we're thriving, and it's, I want to say it's a miracle. And I don't use that lightly. If you I wrote a book because there's too many instances for me to tell you. There's too many instances for me to tell you all the little details. People ask, well, how did you find out? Well, what about this and what about that? It's in the book. It's in the book. And the book is called I Choose Life. Rewrite your love story and change your legacy. And when I talk about rewriting your love story, it's not just about the romantic love story, like people who've lived through abusive romantic relationships. Their goal and dream is to like, I want a different kind of romantic relationship. This is not only about that. It's about relearning how we love, how we express love, how we receive love. Changing those definitions, changing those parameters. That's what I'm talking about when I say rewrite your love story and change your legacy. You can find that survivor's manual at thereboundcoach.com/book. That is, and this is what it looks like. It's back here, thereboundcoach.com/book. And the book is called I Choose Life. You can order right from that page. There's an Amazon link, or you can get one of these hard copies from me, and I will personally sign it and mail it out to you. Again, that is thereboundcoach.com/book. It's where you can get this. And if you have someone in your life that has lived through childhood sexual abuse, lived through domestic violence, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, financial abuse, those are the kinds we don't talk about as much. This is a survival manual. Number one, they get to know that they're not alone. That's the biggest thing right there. You're not by yourself. And helping them understand. So often we might know the right step. You might know, okay, well, I'm supposed to get out of this, right? And sometimes you do, and you still don't really have language around what just happened. Why did this happen? How did I get set up for this? What do I do now? How do I tend to my heart, right? You'll find that in this book, okay? thereboundcoach.com/book. Okay, so one of the beautiful things, I'm trying to do two things at once. One of the beautiful things that I get to do now. And so after everything that happened, I was really mad. I was mad with God. I was mad with myself. I was mad with the world. And God is so gracious. You know, he allowed me all the time I needed to have all the emotional roller coaster that I needed. And I still have from time to time, let's be honest. And my my very best friend, Malikia, had her own crisis with a police officer. And I won't tell her story, but I will just give you the headline. She says, I almost died for peeing while black. Okay. And so when her crisis happened, there wasn't anybody there to tend to her. And she had to turn around and conduct meetings and, kind of act like business as usual. And all the people around her were still expecting her to do business as usual. And even in my situation, I had days where I had to call the police on somebody at my house. And the very next day I had to go across town and run a meeting. And I did that. like I did that. And I don't know, they never told me, but it seemed like they were never the wiser. It's crazy how we're just kind of expected to keep things up. And there's not always someone to care for you or give you space to grieve when you are having panic attacks or other things that are going on with you. And so I was in my funk, mad at the world. I quit ministry. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. You can't make me. And then my friend comes and says, I need you to do this with me. And I said, okay. And so we started these wonderful sacred experiences called Sanctuary XP for experience. And our very first event was July of 2021. We did a follow-up in the fall of 2021. We did another in spring of 2022 this year. And this past weekend, we just wrapped Sanctuary XP Fall 2022. Y'all! It was amazing. And I feel weird to be this excited all by myself, but I'm telling you, it was so good. And normally I give you lots of pictures and videos, guys. I have one video that I can share with you so far because it's only been a couple of days and all the stuff is still kind of raw. But I can tell you, I barely know where to start. Here's the beautiful thing is these women that said yes to themselves didn't just show up and were like, okay, let's see the circus acts, right? If you've ever been to an event of any kind where somebody hyped it up to you and then you get there and you're like, all right, surprise me, right? That was not the attitude of these people. They came with their hearts prepared, and we asked them to prepare their hearts for what God was going to do for them. And they come to the sanctuary experience the first time, no matter how many videos or pictures that I share with you or testimonials that I share with you, it's not going to completely tell you what it's going to be like. You won't know until you come. So, we do our best to tell folks what to expect. But they get there and their hearts are tender and prepared. And Maliki and I share our stories that first night, and we get to eat together. And the after parties, the after chats are part of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites, but we kind of gathered together and began to share about what we're expecting for the weekend. And already, like, people were pouring out just this awesome stuff. I get the privilege of working with the most amazing group of healers and facilitators and a team, really, really a powerful team to lead people through this weekend. And so it started that Friday night, and it was beautiful. Saturday is our big day, where there's just a lot going on, a lot of spiritual activity in a good way. And that team is activated to lead people through a really intense process. It's a beautiful process, but it's an intense one. And we start with worship and spiritual alignment, and there's a teaching even in that time and an activation in that time. And then we have Hannah Scott, who's a life coach and an inner child healing facilitator. She leads the people. I do a teaching. Each sanctuary experience is themed for a feast day or a time on God's calendar that's a special appointment. And so I talked about this one, which is themed for Yom Teruah, which is actually next week. Next week. It starts the evening of the 25th of September through the 26th. So it's sundown on the 25th to sundown on the 26th. And it is all about blowing the shofar. It's about an announcement of God as our King and Christ as our King. And it's a chance for us to align our hearts with his. And so I shared on that. We had someone who came and blew the shofar and began to intercede for all of us. And it was powerful. Y'all. Okay, y'all who are watching on Clubhouse or listening on Clubhouse or watching on Facebook, if you were there, it was so powerful. I saw just little clips of it, y'all. Just little clips of it. And you can still feel the presence of God on the clips and how people were praying and what people were receiving, like actual physical gifts and also spiritual gifts that were being imparted, and the prayers that we did together as a group. And then we broke off to some folks sat with Hannah. Some folks did one-on-ones with Malikia. She works with people individually. And then some people go through what we call tabernacle experience, which I can't break it down to you even if I tried. So I won't, but I will say it's beautiful. The Spirit of God is there. There are many tears. There's laughter, there's healing, there's beauty. It's full immersion. So we involve all of your senses, your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch, and everything. I don't know, I forgot one, but everything. We involve all the senses. It is full immersion in this experience. And so once you get through all of that, we do what's called a mikvah, where there's actually a beach session. So that's fun too. Fun beach session. And then we had, oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, so when we were planning this event, Leaky and I was like, this would be nice if we had some entertainment. We should do something about that. And the way that it was arranged, we got to listen to the most amazing musicians, Tim and Sam. Tim was on the keys and Sam was on the saxophone. And y'all, it was so good. It was so good. Some of us stayed up and partied. I won't name names. And I won't tell secrets. But some of us had a really good time. And the following day was our fun day, Sunday fun day, where we got coached by Coach Kiwi, who owns a modeling agency. And she taught us all about how to handle ourselves. And we practiced on a runway. And then we got to have a fun photo shoot. It was the best. So I have one video testimonial to share with you that's ready enough to share with you. And I will do that now, and then we'll be right back.
Everyone, hello. I'm Debrea, and I am at Sanctuary Experience for the third time. It was great. It was fabulous. Most of all, I was able to see women healed, delivered, and set free. And once again, God blessed me. He gave me one of my wishes or dreams that I wanted to do. And I always love to see people with the flags or the angel wings. And I said, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. And God did it this year for me. He did it for me. Not that I get seen it, I was able to just let him minister over the women, and I was able to use the angel flags or wings. It was a blessing. It was truly a blessing. This is a month of Elul. This is when the king is in the field. When the king is in the field, he will bless you so much. I mean, you can't even imagine what God will do. Sanctuary experience is so anointed. I truly, truly, truly suggest don't miss it. It's twice a year. The next one is coming in the spring. The other one will be in the fall. Come on down. I want to be here and I want to see
you. I love it because if you're watching, you saw her just walk right out of the frame. She's like, I'll see you. I'll be there. Okay, bye. She makes my heart smile. If you would like information about the next sanctuary experience, which will be in the spring of next year, April 21st through 23rd, 2023, you can find that information at thereboundcoach.com/sanctuary, thereboundcoach.com/sanctuary. Not only do I recommend that you come, I recommend that you not come alone. And check it. We take about 10 women at a time at these events. We go deep with each one. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. And we want to keep a high quality of experience for each woman. So we don't take 20 and 30 women. This is not, like we say, this is not your mama's conference. This is not, everybody sits in a crowd and you're just another person in a crowd and you might meet somebody. We are an intimate group. Intentionally, we're a sisterhood. Intentionally. That being said, we only take about 10 women. There are currently 4 spots already filled. So if I were you, I would not wait. I would not wait. Okay. The information you need is at thereboundcoach.com/sanctuary. Okay. We're going to be in the Tampa Bay area. There will be water. Our locations to be announced, but everything else you need to know is there. So I would highly recommend getting your ticket now and not later. So with that, I promise in future the Rebound Coach Live episodes, I'll have my partner with me. And I know that I will be going through all the folks who were here at this past sanctuary to share, to come along with me and share their stories, because documentation beats conversation. I want you to see it for yourself, the difference in these women's lives. One of my favorite things to do is to kind of compare people's countenance from Friday to Sunday and look at how much lighter they are, and the sparkle that's in their eye, and the smile that's on their face, and the bounce that's in their step. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. If you'd like to learn more about Sanctuary Experience or about me as the Rebound Coach and how we might work together for your life, you can find all my information at thereboundcoach.com. You can also find me here on Facebook, facebook.com/thereboundcoach, on IG as The Rebound Coach, on YouTube as Dallas Cohen, or also The Rebound Coach. One of those. Either way, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Clubhouse, hang on for a second and we'll be able to chat. And until next time, folks, choose life.